first we're going to check out the giant oak, then we're going to go to an ancient burial site. Let's go. Whew. It's really cold today, about 7 degrees minus, so the country is freezing up. Yeah, so this area here used to be a garden, now it's a park. So this is a cypress, not native to Norway. That's an old buck. And this is the type of tree we're going to talk about today, oak. Native to this part of the country, due to its resistance to a drought that sometimes plague this southern Norway. So these trees used to make up most of the forest down here. Now there are some big ones left, but all of those trees were cut down after the 16th century when Dutch and British demand drained this area for oak. So if you can see when I zoom in, that's the big oak. Maybe it doesn't look that impressive from distance, but it actually used to be even larger. But in the 80s, a big branch broke off during a snowfall. But as you soon will see, it is a massive old tree. That building used to be a farming school where you can learn to sow crops and all that stuff. But originally this area belonged to a farm. I can show you the main building afterwards. So the idea was that after the 16th century, the increasing demand on the continent for wood used for ships, houses were increasing, and ship technology and growing trade allowed for transporting bulk materials like wood for the first time. So traders came with their ship on the coast and chopped down by themselves, or after a while the locals started to chop it down and create their own industry for export. But most of these big trees disappeared back then, and in the 18th century all of this area along the coast was barren, devastated by intense deforestation. So we don't have many of these old growth oak trees left, but my theory is that all of these large examples of old trees is a result of really old-time conservation, because you find them close to farms, meaning that maybe someone at that farm over generations have taking care to preserve these trees. And that is how we still can see these massive organic organisms. Looks this. It's quite hollow. When I was a child, I used to go inside of this. I'm getting too old for that. Look at this. It's massive. Like the diameter of it, it's insane. But you see it bulging out like it's grown. That is because when the oak gets older, it's very often you have like a fungus growing inside of the trees, hollowing out the core. So that creates the hollow feature, but the trees still survive, even though the core is hollow. Look at this. Magnificent. So since the oak is slow growth, it's very strong. So some parts of the ships, wooden ships, needed to be strong. So then oak was the preferable choice. In Norway, there have been found oak that is 38 meters high, but it can be even higher. The oak can be really old, up to 1,000 to 1,500 years. This one is about 300 or 400 years old. That's another one, even larger. We're gonna check this out in a later episode. There's a lot of creatures living in oak. You have this fungus I talked about. You have netteskrike. You have bats, fungi, lichens. You have insects, and of course the owl. This is a cat owl. He loves to make his nest inside an oak. Can you see there's no glass on the window? That's because back in the day glass was very expensive, so it was cheaper just to paint it black, so it will still look cool. Now we're gonna see if we can find this Iron Age burial site. In Scandinavia, the Iron Age is from 500 BC to 880, that will say, up until the Viking Age / Middle Ages. So this is before the Viking Age. Oh, there's supposed to be like a circle of rocks, like a megalithic-ish structure. Yeah, I think I see it. So in the Iron Age, Norway was sparsely populated, and especially this area is really rugged terrain, not much flat agricultural area. But this is a good place for farming, so we can find a lot of Iron Age remnants here. So this is the place. You can see the megalithic stones standing in a circle. That's typical for the Iron Age. There have been found remains here of burned skeletons from a woman. So we know it's a burial site. We know that they did cremation. And maybe the stones were raised to mark the grave, or maybe it was a part of the ritual. Maybe both. But these stones have actually been re-erected to be found laying around here. And 100 years ago they restored it to what they believe was the original shape of this site. So, built around 400 AD. That's about the end of the Scandinavian Iron Age, 400 years before the Vikings. That's a young oak forest. Yeah, thanks for joining me today. Now I'm found a good spot to eat some cake, drink some coffee. See you next time.